Rich, but I came from the Nile Valley. It's bittersweet, I smile sadly. Truth rarely seen like child's daddies. I'm Hotep, I style flashy. Regarded highly, I'm Selassie. As time is passing, tribes are clashing. I know the ledge, I grow my dreads. My queen's two open legs have golden eggs, I'm hatched. 9 months had to hold my breath. Now I dream so heavy that I broke the bed. Provoke the feds that slaughter the sons. 12 get the 4-5 like a quarter to 1. The war has begun. Latin for sun, the soul and melanites get more of the sun. We the fortunate one. Got the God in the womb and the Lord in my come, and no more means love. Death is the source that I'm from. Everything that they do, we have already done. Self-taught, my ice a melt salt. Mine high price, I write and sell thought. I felt cloth, I cannot in cotton shopping. Aquaponic, chronic options. Botanizing pot concoction. Earth a thought, her twat is rotten. Knowledge of my art forgotten. Watch the conscious sovereign doctrine. Not dishonest prophet goblins. Boxing out the box, I'm boxed in. Black magic, black yoni, black phallus. How they turn kings and queens to crack addicts. How they make us lose our sight like bad glasses. They know we invented original mathematics. Black magic, treat home like at Sabbath. I can hear beautiful music and bad static. I attract cash in bags like that's Magnus. Last Maverick, blast fast like Zab Jab.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Rich, a.k.a. Black Magic. Out here with Blue Pill, man. We're in the purple.
Peace, love, and light.
Red and blue, purple like Prince.
Shout out to the Black Magic 363 family. Shout out to the Patreon subscribers. All right? Make sure that you go to Patreon and support independent media. Peace, love, and light.
Indeed, indeed. I got a video coming real soon for the Patreon family, real soon, an exclusive one. So, and I'm going to start, I'm going to basically, Blue, I'm going to upload my entire library on Patreon. All the DVDs that I've had throughout the years.
Oh, they in for a treat.
VHS, yeah, I got some VHS, y'all, that hasn't even...
for a treat.
You had to be around in the year 2001 to get some of these VHS, because by the time they got transferred over to DVD, they didn't even have them no more in DVD format. So, yeah, that's just a special gift for the Patriot family.
Yeah, y'all need to subscribe. You in for a treat. This is the digital library of Alexandria, okay? Because Rich, outside, I know about 2 or 3 people outside of Rich that have the complete catalog. The complete catalog. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you subscribe to Patreon and support yourself.
Indeed, and on that note, Blue, the topic today, Blue, I'm going to say... You know, when something happens to a celebrity, it gets the attention of people. Like with the whole Moorish thing, we talked about it. The video went viral, over 75,000 views. If we just talked about it, attention wouldn't have been on it like that.
Right.
The situation with Tyrese, my brother. Whew. This child support situation, man, it's something that I've seen brothers hate a whole race of women. A whole race of women. Because of the way the court system does them, because of the way they feel they baby moms did them. This is a very touchy topic.
It is.
Very touchy. When these babies come out, sex is real good. It feel real good, but when that baby pop out, when your pull-out game wasn't right, or you was drunk or high, whatever it was, and you didn't intend to do it, but it happened, and you stuck, and now you don't like each other, or, you know, whatever the case is, bro, this child support, man, listen. Blue, this ain't no joke. Talk to me about the situation with Tyrese and black men in America, and black men feeling like sisters sided with white supremacy on this one right here, my brother.
It's very, very touchy topic. I observed from a distance a brother who, you know, I respect for his level of transparency, openness, you know, and the information, the uplifting information that he imparts upon the internet, you know, on a regular basis. It was more so like last year and years before. I really haven't seen him doing that much this year, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, that doesn't erase his contributions, you know what I'm saying? The brother has been very key, you know, in the uplifting stance that he's brought to the internet. I watched this brother have a meltdown yesterday as a result of the stress incurred from him battling with the mother of his child in the court systems, all right, as it relates to visitation rights and child support, monthly child support. You know, he has famously stated to the world that he is paying $13,000 a month in child support, and yet I would think that the mother of his child is still in court trying to get him for more money. And I think that there's an issue where he's not even able to see his daughter on a regular basis, or like he would want to, if at all. So the brother was at his wit's end. You know what I'm saying? We saw somebody hit the wall, and the nerve of social media to make so many memes of it, as if we don't know someone who has been in that position before. Because of the advent of the camera and social media, we have the ability now to see these things up front. You see what it looks like, okay? But prior to that, you know, you in your building, you hear the homie down the block, you know what I'm saying, through the window screaming, and what's wrong with son? You feel me? Son is in tears, and you will console him and say it's going to be all right, even when you know that it probably won't. These are men who are actually expressing love for their children at a time when children are devoid of the love of their parents. You know, why are we being so heartless and so desensitized to the plight of our family, of our brothers, when it comes to these little ones? Okay, these are the same little ones that, you know, we're saying, damn, if only she had a father in her life, if only somebody cared, if only somebody stepped up. But there are brothers who are trying to step up for whatever reason, and they are paying the price based on what they did to the mother of that child, okay? They're wringing them out in every which way imaginable. And I'm not here to play, you know, who's right and who's wrong. I don't really think that I'm not qualified, okay? I don't have one of these situations, but I observed these situations throughout my life. There are people that are close to me that are in these situations, and I've worn it so much that I wear it like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that situation for myself, so I need the ideal situation. I've been lying to myself all these years as if something perfect is going to come along just because of what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe dissuaded from, you know, just being a something that I'm not necessarily quote unquote in control of, but something that won't end up how I've seen everyone else around me end up. So it hit home, you know, to see that brother in this position and, you know, be like at his wit's end, have no options, where he felt that he had to go to the internet and share his most vulnerable moment with the world, and then be received in a way in which they dragged him through social media with the memes, you know what I'm saying, challenging and attacking his manhood, as if they not attacking the manhood of these dudes that are not standing up for themselves and their self-dignity on these football fields, on these basketball sidelines and what have you. You know what I'm saying? They not attacking none of that. They don't see a lack of manhood in that. They don't see a lack of dignity in that. They don't see bitch-assness in that. You feel me? They don't see bitch-assness in that. But this man is having a moment out of an expression of love for his daughter, and you have the nerve to attack him so viciously? I don't get that. You know, because, let me finish, because it's key. You know, we're a few days removed from Halloween. What I seen this year in Halloween, I've never seen. I've never seen so many people put the mask on. All right? I've never seen so many people put the mask on. And this is that one day out of the year where you get to really be who you are. All right? I've never seen so many Christians with devil horns and tails in my life. You understand? But you're going to be in church on Sunday. Or they was in church the next day for All Saints Day. I went to St. Patrick's Cathedral to do a segment where I was tearing into them. You know what I'm saying? And you got all these people wiping off makeup from their face to run up in there and drop on their knees to give praises to the saints. But y'all wasn't dressed up like Jesus. Y'all wasn't dressed up like St. Paul on Halloween. Okay? And you conscious niggas was not dressed up like Oshun or Obatala. Okay? So stop talking about the occult. You niggas was dressed up like mother Casper the Ghost in them. Cut it out. Okay? The very devil that you say that you hate, that you're trying to fight, is who you emulate on the day in which you get to be who you really are. So this man is showing you his real face, and they're telling him, yo, you embarrassing yourself. Put your mask back on. Put your mask back on. You know what I'm saying? You're killing yourself on social media. No, he's taking the mask off and showing you the pain in real time. You get to see this. You get to relate to this because many of y'all have felt this. You understand? So it's definitely a precarious situation when a man's communication with the woman who has born his child has broken down to such a degree that not only do you have to put the state in the middle, okay, but now you got to go to strangers in this world via the internet, via social media to plead. He's looking for support. He's looking for support. You know what I'm saying? Even if he's broke down and he's at his most vulnerable, he needs the level of support because we all should be able to relate. You know what I'm saying?
I want to read you something. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a real, like I said, Blue, man, this is one of the subjects where for the last 10 years, I've watched a lot of grown men sad and depressed states, miserable states, because they're working all these hours and they check be looking crazy. But with that being said, let me read you something that was posted by 50. You know, he went public with his child support and he let the world know what he was going through and how much he didn't appreciate it. A couple of months ago, his son finally turned 18. He got a lot of backlash, Blue, because he posted on Instagram he was having a child support release party. It says child support release party Friday the 13th. Club Lust, happy hour, drinks on me, Tom Petty is alive, ladies with no kids, free admission, ladies who didn't collect child support, free admission. And he, like I said, he received a lot of backlash.
I think, yeah.
But Blue, what my question is that what a woman to do? What is a sister to do if she got to raise this kid on her own, this child on her own, and she's not receiving money from the male, the dude, or he come by once a month or once every 6 months buy a pair of sneakers? What is she supposed to do then, Blue? Like, she just keep supposed to believe in him when he get on his feet?
Again, precarious situations, very touchy topics. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a relationship with young ladies who have been through this, you know, who are currently going through this. You know, the support is needed. You know what I'm saying? Not only financially, but that child needs their father in their lives. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about child support, that it almost demonizes or minimizes the relationship that the father is having with the child. You know what I'm saying? Where it's only a fiduciary situation. Like, look, I gave you the check. You know what I'm saying? Go buy the sneakers and handle that. No, the child needs you. The child needs commonality. The child needs support from, you know, the male principal. You know what I'm saying? His father. You know what I'm saying? He needs that. He needs that relationship. He needs that commonality. He needs the comfort of knowing he or she. You know what I'm saying? Of knowing whatever needs to be discussed in privacy, you know, can be discussed. You know what I'm saying? I need you to check my homework. I need you to take me to the park. I need you to be there. You feel me? It's important to my development as a child. So when they just strip it down to the check, when they just strip it down to the money, you know what I'm saying? It minimizes that. But the woman who now has to bear the burden of upholding the household, you know what I'm saying? She got all the bills and she got to raise the baby. She got to feed the child. She got to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, you run the potential of, you know, not only damaging the child, you know what I'm saying, by this child not having things that it quote unquote needs, but you also run the risk of, you know, what if she can't uphold it and the whole situation collapses on her and she's out on the sidewalk, she's in a shelter. You know, now her life is being challenged, just in danger. Everybody's in a situation that they can't fend with, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, again, I don't want to get too personal about the decisions that, you know, our sisters make or our brothers make, you know, but a lot of these brothers are not on, they're not on paper. You feel me?
That's a good point.
They're not on paper.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not on paper. I'm not saying that she selected a D-boy. I'm not saying that she met homie in the club and didn't even know his name. You know what I'm saying? But these things happen. You feel me? These things happen. You know what I mean? So everybody's not even they're not even able to take them to court and get nothing out of them. Because a lot of our brothers are unemployed, or they employed by the streets, or they self-employed, or, you know what I'm saying? You know, some of these malls and shit is filing paperwork to protect themselves. Yes, it's going down like that. They're abusing the information so they can be impervious to child support. And child support is a racket. We did programs on that before. You know what I'm saying? Child support is a racket. You know what I'm saying? It's not mandated by any lawful mandates. You know what I'm saying? It's a racket. It's a state-funded racket. But at the same time, I get it because, you know, what are these women to do? You know what I mean? What are these women to do realistically at the end of the day? You know what I mean? Because the support is not necessarily there. But, you know, the thing to do, the correct thing to do, because I'm speaking and you know, I'm speaking about people that I know that have arrangements, you know what I'm saying? They have amicable arrangements with the mother of their children, and the courts are not involved. As long as they upkeep their part, then the courts are not brung in. You know, I know a lot of people that are maintaining that level of responsibility, and they have good relationship with their children. You know what I'm saying? This is how it should be done. The ideal situation is that you both can live amicably under one roof, and the child can benefit from having two parents. But, you know, that's not the situation these days, unfortunately. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, that's a whole nother program. But you was about to ask me something?
Yeah, let's for those who may not have seen the movie Claudine, you seen the movie Claudine from back in the day? Yeah,
Yes.
we talked about how it affects us on a, you know, on a relationship level, but some people feel as though there was a whole conspiracy behind why it's designed like this. Talk to me about that aspect and use the Claudine as an example.
Absolutely. When welfare came in, you know what I'm saying, there was a state-funded mandate that the father, that the husband not be in the home in order for the mother to get the benefits. So they either had to hide him or he got kicked out. You know what I'm saying? He got kicked out so she can keep that, you know, that home afloat, just keep that roof over her head. And of course, we are living in the ramifications of what that caused. All right? We're living in the third generation, you know, throes of the ramifications of that. So we can identify it and say, yo, that didn't work. You know what I'm saying? That was a death blow. That was very detrimental. And then you have, again, a large percentage of our brothers incarcerated. You have a large percentage of our brothers who, you know, they fathered deceased and they didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? They got clipped. So where's the mother going to get the relief from in that particular situation? What if she's, you know, an abuser of substances? You know what I'm saying? And she falls off the end and she just can't hold it up no more. You know, there are a lot of these situations. And it's you know, it's unfortunate, you know, but we see the results of it. Let's not be blind to, you know, the fact that you can go outside and you can see the results of it. You know somebody who has been affected by it. I grew up around it my entire life. So yes, I know that these things were very detrimental to the melanated family structure. You know what I'm saying? Sidelining the father out of that situation so the mother could get government support, you know? So
With all this in, I mean, with keeping all this in mind, do you at least think this is going to prevent us or teach us how to be sexually responsible for those that just go out there and, I mean, is there some good that could come out of, you know, I mean?
I remember the thing that made our brother Dr. Umar so relatable at one point. You know, of course, when he brought the information about our children in school, but when he was doing those relationship segments, you know what I'm saying? When he was giving up game in those relationship segments about, you know, different relationships, about how sisters should be able to identify X, Y, and Z, those things were so beneficial. People were able to really utilize that information. They was able to identify because they were, right, game deprived. They was game deficient. You know what I mean? You ain't had nobody to tell you that. You don't know it. And you learning by example. You learning the hard way. And sometimes it's too late. You already got a seed. You know what I'm saying? And then you got another one. And you got another one before you figure it out. So we need education dealing with relationship, the different variants of relationship. You know what I'm saying? How these relationships are going. How to identify this. How to identify that. You know what I'm saying? How you can, you know, because everything's not perfect. Everything's not going to work according to how you write it down on paper. You know what I'm saying? Well, how do you make an adjustment and an amendment in real time? You know what I mean? These are all things that we need education and help with. Peace, family. So, you know, you want to ask me that question again? You said?
Well, yeah, well, just moving on, you know, you brought up the whole Dr. Umar, and I definitely, a lot of his relationship videos definitely was beneficial. Yeah, I remember from the LIU days, man. But in terms of, you know, us...
Okay, we were talking about, you pretty much asked me about the selection process. You know what I'm saying? You were saying, will we make better decisions?
Being sexually responsible.
Sexually responsible. Yeah. We live in the era of Cardi. You know, and not to put this on her. She's the personification of the sexual promiscuity of our society. And I'm not saying, again, thin line, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that we can see the results of being sexually irresponsible. Case in point, right before I left, I saw a bleep to come across. It was a news bleep. She did a Rolling Stone. She's on the cover of Rolling Stone. And the part of her interview that they choose to highlight is she said she never used a condom. You feel me? So, again, am I to tell her that she's being irresponsible? I saw a clip with her on YouTube where she said, look, I don't care what you tell me. I'm not a role model. That's your job if you're a parent. Okay? She had the benefit of being raised by her mother. These girls out here don't have that. Not all of them, I'm just saying some of them, where they're looking to entertain us, where they're looking to say, you know, I might even been raised by my mother, but my mother don't know what's going on in these streets. My mother's not with me in school. I'm getting my cool points or my tips from people that I look up to. Okay? Not everybody looks up to their parents. They look to their parents for different things. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in the streets, you're going to look to those people that you feel are street savvy enough to give you the game. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, there's going to be legions of young ladies who are going to be following that same level of advice. You know what I'm saying? There's legions of them out there already. Okay? So, there's a level of sexual irresponsibility that has been taking place, that is taking place, and is going to continue to take place that we're not necessarily going to be able to stymie. You know what I'm saying? STDs are at an all-time high. You know what I mean? There's 500 new STDs. You understand? They say, quote unquote, the HIV rate is at an all-time high amongst melanated women. These things are not stopping them. You know what I'm saying? For having what we call, quote unquote, irresponsible sex. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then you have the high proliferation of party drugs at this particular time. You know what I'm saying? They popping Xannies, they popping perks. You know what I mean? You know, shorties is drinking Henny like it's quarter water. You feel me? You know what I mean? They blowing the loud. They doing X, Y, and Z. All of these things, you know, okay, let's say that they don't always lead to sexual irresponsibility, but they make things just a little bit more slippery. You know what I'm saying? They make things a little bit more slippery. Then they have the soundtrack to go along with it that's pushing you in that particular way. You know, we seen a video with Kanika. You know what I'm saying? We seem to forget so quick, and we don't want to have these conversations. You know? I seen everybody talk about everything else other than that, about the culture that surrounds that entire paradigm. They want it to be, you know, Facebook detectives dealing with, oh, this shoe and that, but no one talks about the culture. The culture continues. The culture continues, you know? It's like a person that got smoke in them. They can't smell the smoke. So the same people that are looking at it and don't see no problem with it, they're part and parcel with it. You know what I'm saying? This is how they participate. You know, this is how they get down with the get down. So, yeah, it's going to be definitely, there's going to be a proliferation of sexual irresponsibility. It's going to continue.
Why do you think?
Why wouldn't it?
Blue, why do you think, let's use black men as an example, because it might be different for other cultures, but why does black men and sensitivity, those two words, a lot of people don't like that. They don't want, just like you said, the way they're coming at Tyrese, and we see this over and over again with a brother who may express his emotions or get emotional about something. It's like we're told, stop acting like a bitch, man up.
Again,
all these sayings.
There's this aspect of, and it's funny as shit because it's being challenged every time that you turn around, right? You can't be melanated and not be alpha, right? Yeah, masculinity has to be hyper, right? But they'll tell you that, yo, Young Thug is mad thorough, son, right? What makes him thorough? Because he used to bust his gun. That he might have hit some dudes and knocked them down with some bullets. So his masculinity is certified because this nigga will kill you if you get out of line. You know what I'm saying? But his femininity in regards to him calling men bae and my wife and wearing dresses and, you know, painting his fingernails black and all the way from Uzi Vert and all of them, right? You'll hear the older dudes from these, right? Yo, son is official. You know what I'm saying? His street card checked out. You feel me? You know, so there's this blurred line even between what it means to be an alpha in our community. You know what I'm saying? As long as you prescribe to a level of niggerism that's acceptable, right? As long as you pass that particular criteria and you fit right here, you know what I'm saying? Can't nobody say nothing about you. But if Tyreek break down and have a real moment emotionally, oh, you's a bitch. You's a bitch. I don't see, Tyreek never put the dress on in Hollywood, did he?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
But he's the bitch. You know what I'm saying? He's the bitch. So being expressive of any level of vulnerability at a time when black men are pretending to be alphas, right, in a jungle or society where they're very much beta, okay? Because ain't nobody running down on no neo-Nazis. Ain't nobody running down on no Klansmen. Ain't nobody busting no heads. You feel me? Ain't nobody showing up to no rallies. Ain't nobody even talking about it, right? And these niggas putting their hands over their heart, okay, with all the disrespect. So, with all that being said, yes, there's no room in this fabricated society that we live in where, you know, people are always prescribing and saying what masculinity is and what it's supposed to look like. This is a controlled environment, right? And everybody's fronting. So that's what that's about.
Yeah, well, I hope, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot, like I said, man, just to wrap it up, I know this is something that I've seen hit our community extremely hard throughout the years, man.
Bro, it hit our community. It hit close to home. I know people that are very close to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, just last question. What would you say to the brothers who they may come down hard on sisters? Some people may say the Tommy Sotomayor crowd because they come hard on the sisters and they say they got some facts to support it. And they're saying, okay, I'm saying this, but this is what it is. Is there a certain approach you think these brothers should take because they got railroaded by the system and this particular baby mama? Don't they have the right to express their displeasure for the woman they've encountered in the system?
You know the show they got on Viceland with the psychotherapist?
Yeah. The one where Prodigy was on it? Yeah.
We need a institution, right, where we have legions of those psychotherapists. Because there's nothing that I can say to them that's going to repair them through me conversating. These people need therapy because, right, you're dealing with this aspect of broken adults, okay? Having broken relationship and giving birth to beautiful babies that run the risk of being broken because of this toxic environment. So there has to be counseling at this particular time because, right, we all came into the situation debilitated based on whatever societal constructs that we were raised in, all right? She's a little off, we a little off, you know what I'm saying? And our offspring runs the risk of incurring both. You know what I'm saying? Till that offspring becomes offset. Right? So there's therapy that's needed. You know, we can't wave the magic wand over this situation. Right? And I'm stepping back and I'm thinking about situations that I know directly. Right? With people that I'm associated and affiliated with. That, you know, when those topics come up, you know what I'm saying? And when they go through that, they shut down. You know what I mean? They shut down. It breaks them down. These are geniuses. These are people that could think their way out of anything. But for some reason, that's their kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? So they need therapy. They need counseling. Right? They need somebody that's in between them and the women other than the judge that can bridge that level of conversation where some sort of resolution could be made. You know what I mean? Some sort of resolution could be made. But if it's a matter of the heart for her, she probably more than likely won't get over it. If it was a matter of the pocket for him, he probably won't get over that either. You know what I'm saying? And if there's a combination of the two, then, you know, it's all out war. And things have been said. You know what I mean? Lines have been crossed. And in the middle is this child absorbing all of this energy. You think the child don't know? Or you think the child ain't hip? You know what I'm saying? You see how people be talking on their phones. You think the child don't know what's going on, ain't overheard all of this nonsense? You think the mother ain't cutting into the father when the child is around? All of that's going down. You know what I mean? So it's making for some very interesting times in our very near future, okay? Where we're going to, because we already see the children that we're surrounded by now, right? We already had these segments about their pain and their depression. You know what I'm saying? Where do you think this stuff comes from? Just from broken hearts from their teenage love? No, this is continuations from them being broken as children, coming up in broken household with broken parents, right? So we run the risk of sitting back, right, with our cigars and just observing how society is going to matriculate itself into a broken society run by these broken children now who got orange and green hair. You know what I'm saying? They got piercings in their eyeballs and stuff like that. And I'm not coming at y'all. I'm just saying I see your pain. I understand what you're going through. Okay? And they're going to express that when they get older. You know what I mean? But hopefully, like some people in our generation who grew up in very detrimental situations when their parents were hitting the pipe, they grew up to be good parents. They grew up to be providers. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that, you know, I have some of my homegirls that ended up being single mothers and everything. And that wasn't by their choice for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Homie didn't show up. Right? According to them. Because everybody got 3 parts of a story. You dig what I'm saying? But they have provided. They have been there. They have held it together. You know what I'm saying? Like I've said at times that they should have we got to make a mural where the woman is holding up the globe like Atlas. Because those are situations that I've seen in real life. And we shouldn't be in our feelings about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's simping. Come on. Real talk. Like they've held it together. They going to school. They putting food on the table. And they raising in the household. They super women out here. They doing what needs to be done. And they don't have the level of support. And even if the financial support is there, the emotional support ain't there. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual support ain't there. Some of these men have torn these women down and haven't built them back up. And they've had to pull all of these pieces together in real time and bring themselves to a particular stature, right? Prop themselves up where they can hold these children up and raise these children and not topple over. They deserve some level of, you know, congratulations and a reward for that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of broken fissures in our community. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about our community at large, our global community, because this is being exported around the globe for anybody who is buying into our culture because it's part of our culture. You know what I'm saying? They ain't wifing shorties up in South Africa. They ain't wifing shorties up in London. Niggas is running through shorties everywhere because it's in the music. It's part of the culture. It's understood. It's the unspoken. You get what I'm saying? Dudes ain't out here caping and lovey-dovey and what have you. They knocking them down and running through them. You know what I'm saying? And they leaving them You know, they leaving them the whole act. And some people are getting redress and some aren't. And everybody's not in that category. You feel me? Everybody's not in that category. But we need counseling. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the elder counsel that's able to step in and mediate these situations. So we got to find counseling somewhere else. Something
Rich, but I came from the Nile Valley. It's bittersweet, I smile sadly. Truth rarely seen like child's daddies. I'm in Hotep, I style flashy. Regarded highly, I'm Selassie. As time is passing, tribes are clashing. I know the ledge, I grow my dreads. My queen's 2 open legs have golden eggs, I'm hatched. 9 months had to hold my breath. Now I dream so heavy that I broke the bed. Provoke the feds that slaughter the sons. 12 get the 4-5 like a quarter to 1. The war has begun. Latin for sun, the soul and melanites get more of the sun. We the fortunate ones. Got the God in the womb and the Lord in my come, and no more means love. Death is the source that I'm from. Everything that they do, we have already done. Self-taught, my ice a melt salt. Mine high price, I write and sell thought. I felt cloth, I cannot in cotton shopping. Aquaponic, chronic options. Botanizing and pot concoction. Earth a thought, her twat is rotten. Knowledge of my art forgotten. Watch the conscious sovereign doctrine. Not dishonest prophet goblins. Boxing out the box, I'm boxed in. Black magic, black yoni, black phallus. How they turn kings and queens to crack addicts. How they make us lose our sight like bad glasses. They know we invented original mathematics. Black magic, treat home like at Sabbath. I can hear beautiful music and bad static. I attract cash in bags like that's Magnus. Last maverick, blast fast like Zab Jab.